Right, man. We are live. How's everyone doing out there, man? Haven't made a video here in quite a amount of some time. Actually, last time I came on here, man, it was like in March, and I made a video giving my baseball pick for the World Series, man. And oh man, it did not work out for us, man. I mean, these playoffs have been very unpredictable, as always in baseball. And I wanted to come on here and I guess talk about some of these series, man, and how I see these things coming down towards the end of the season. I guess we can talk about Houston and Detroit. Detroit is a team that been winning a bunch of baseball games of late. If you want to look back, August 1st until today, they've had the best record in the American League, second to Houston. And Houston, even though they got swept like that, 2 games, very embarrassing fashion, I still had the Astros as the best team in the American League. So now that Detroit beats them, I think Detroit is very well positioned to make a World Series run because of their manager. At one point in this year, the Tigers were 52 wins, 58 losses. Like I mentioned, they went 34-18 to win the season. And I don't think there's a single team in the American League that's going to knock them off. I think the Yankees don't really have the pitching staff to knock them off. Detroit is going to rely a lot on their Cy Young winner, and they're going to have a really patchy starting rotation. But the manager, I think, is very in tune with that team, and I trust him to go all the way to the World Series this year. I know it's a very trendy pick, but from how this team's been playing, how they played against Houston, coming back like that and beating them like that at home, sweeping them, just a lot of respect to that ball club. And the most I feel most confident in the American League side. I think the Yankees will beat the Royals, but once it gets down to that Final Four NLCS ALCS matchup, I just think Detroit is a team of destiny right now, and it's very trendy to mention that, but it's just how I see things going down. The National League side is a lot more difficult to pick, man. The Padres were my team that I've been thinking that they were going to go to the World Series all year long, up until a couple of days ago, man. When there's just been getting so much love from the national media and picking them to beat the Dodgers and all these things, and that's not the Padres kind of mojo, right? The Padres are underdog kind of baseball team. Yeah, the team that's been playing 56 years. They've won 90 games, I think, 4 or 5 times in their legacy. And now they're getting so much love from the national media that they're going to beat the Dodgers and they're going to go to the World Series and win it. That I just don't know. I think they're going to run into problems in LA because of LA's offense. And the shuffling of the starting pitchers for LA was an interesting move. Having Flaherty and Yamamoto switch like that, obviously they're setting up for a Game 5 in LA. And I just don't know if the Padres have enough to beat the Dodgers in the Game 5 in LA. It might be too much for them to overcome, giving the injury to Joe Musgrove. And I'm going to pick the Dodgers, man, to beat them. I'm going to go against my pick, but it is what it is, man. That's how I see things right now going down. At that top bracket, the Mets and the Phillies, it's a very difficult series to pick, man, because it's a divisional matchup. When we see these divisional matchups in the past, the underdog does come in and beat the favorite. I think the Phillies have done that a couple of times to the Braves. It's just the Phillies. Of all these teams left in the playoffs, the Phillies have the best rotation. They're going to throw out some monsters in these playoffs, man. I just don't think the Mets will be able to overcome that. I know it's a short series, 5-game series, but I'm going to trust Philly. They've struggled down the stretch. They didn't finish as strong as LA as the Padres, but I mean, does that really matter when it's an experienced veteran team like that, man? They have a bunch of veteran players in that ball club. They got monster leading off with Schwarber, all-star caliber shortstop, and a lot of leaders in that ball club, man. The bullpen is, a little bit weak. But we've seen past World Series teams win with weak bullpens, just very strong pitching staffs. And I think that's what's going to carry Philly to beat LA. I think that series, Phillies and LA, I think that series is when it's going to catch up to the Dodgers' lack of pitching staff in a 7-game series. The Dodgers will not be able to match the firepower that the Phillies will have in the starting rotation, which I think is going to ultimately cost them that series. And then once it gets down to the final two teams, the World Series, I don't even think it's going to be close, man. I know the Tigers are a team of destiny and all these things, right? But that series might be very short. It could be a sweep. We've seen past history a lot of World Series sweeps, and I think this is a candidate for one. I think Philly might win 4-0 against Detroit. Maybe the Tigers win 1 game. Who knows, right? But I mean, that's just how I see things right now. I picked, like I mentioned, Padres, Astros in March. It was looking very solid up until a couple of days ago, man, when Detroit shocked the world and proved that they are a good ball club, that their regular season record, 34 wins, 18 losses in that run that they had, best record of the American League. It wasn't a fluke, man. They proved it by knocking off the second best American League team record during that stretch, which was Houston at home like that, man. Just embarrassing them like that. There's no team that's going to stop them in the American League. The Yankees, I mean, they have a lot of names, right, on offense, but their pitching staff is down. Yeah, I think their pitching staff can get hit around, and I think the Tigers will hit them around. It's going to be a tough series. I don't think the Tigers will win in 5 games. It could be a 6, maybe even a 7-game series against the Yankees. Who knows? But we'll see, man. I just want to come on here and give my thoughts on the pick that I had for the preseason. Very disappointed in that pick didn't hit, but we move on, man. And this is how I'm going to move on. I'm going to look at these teams more in depth, and this is my World Series pick now, man. I'm going to go with the Phillies and the Tigers to do battle. Phillies win the World Series and maybe a sweep or 5 games, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to come back here and make another video once the championship series starts and see how these picks went. But I hope you guys have a great rest of the day and enjoy these playoffs, man. This is some good baseball we're watching. A lot of people are watching these playoffs. The ratings are up. The game quality is up. The speed of the game is up. The games don't last 3.5, 4, 5 hours like years past in the playoffs. So it's very watchable and a lot of drama as well. Like the fast pace adds to the drama. And let's just enjoy the show. So hope everyone's doing good out there. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.